Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Friday, January 24th, 2025. Now, yesterday we spent most of the morning, in fact, into the early afternoon, covering I don't know if to call it a final pretrial conference anymore, but it was a motion hearing in U.S. versus Charlie Javice. Charlie Javice, who defrauded, apparently, Allegedly, J.P. Morgan Chase for $175 million. What did we learn yesterday? We learned, number one, that her motion to sever herself from Mr. Amar, her co-defendant, was denied. They retreated to the robing room and heard in camera and ex parte from Amar and his lawyer, Mr. Buckley, their reasoning for their defense. And Judge Hellerstein emerged and said that they're not really antagonistic and they can cure it with some kind of a limiting instruction or in closing statements. So there's that. Also, the trial was delayed. In fact, Judge Hellerstein criticized the SDNY prosecutors pretty seriously, tied it into errors they've made in the Menendez case. We'll get to that in a moment, saying that they delayed far too long in providing information from Amar's Google Drive to the Javice defense team, which includes Sullivan, Jose Diaz from Miami, and apparently Spyro. Nobody really knows. He's still on the docket. They had another woman from Kun Emanuel there, Perdomo, but no Spyro to be found. The trial team is Sullivan and Diaz. Why am I saying all this? Because I'm making a very deep dive into this thing, including J.P. Morgan's Chase's role in all this. It's interesting when you can get the U.S. Attorney's Office working for you as a collector. Clearly, well, I don't want to say clearly fraud was committed, but it seems pretty clear. But most disputes where a bank gets really. There was a lot of stuff out there. They should have known. Frank, the company of Charlie Javice, had been sued by the Department of Education for misusing its name. There had been many schools that said, "Hey, you're not offering our online courses. We never heard of you." So there was enough out there to say, like, something's dubious with this company and with this person, but they didn't care. And the question is why? What was the role of Janie Dimon? Okay. We've put more time into that than I wanted. On the Menendez front, Nadine Menendez has asked again to delay her trial, currently scheduled for February 5th. She put in a redacted filing, and the interesting thing is that the government, the prosecutors, who normally just routinely oppose any delay of the trial, this time said they wouldn't mind it going back to March 18th. So either there's a more serious medical problem or something else is up. Others are, looking at that. I'm going to get to the UN because I'm almost at the courthouse and I've got to do something at 9. The UN is asked by its sycophants that they allow in. Inner City Press is banned. Sycophants say, has Guterres talked to Trump? No. Who's talking to the administration? They've come up with the name, Will Davis. This guy has been at he's basically the UNDP office, but they call it an information center. He's been there for years. I don't want to say he's a nobody. I'm sure he's a fine individual. But if the UN is hanging, maybe they're just trying to keep their head down. And I hope that it doesn't work. I hope that strategy didn't work. It worked in Trump 1. I will say that. Nothing was reformed. I was there. Nothing was reformed. Now, and I say it because it needs reform, totally outside of any politics to it, it's a place that has hurt the very people it was supposed to help. Children raped by peacekeepers. Haitians killed by cholera that was brought. And the real problem is legal immunity. That's the theme of this podcast. End immunity. Okay, end impunity. Immunity is impunity. Okay, we're going in. To be continued.